Hi there, I'm really glad you're here with me today, especially as we tune into the energy of Scorpio during what I believe is a deeply powerful and sacred moment. If you're a Scorpio, or if you have strong Scorpio placements in your birth chart, you probably know what it feels like when change starts from the inside out. It's that quiet intensity, that silent knowing that something big is shifting long before the world catches up. This video is for you. I want to walk with you through the messages the universe is gently revealing around April 12th, an important turning point that could open doors in your spiritual journey, your finances, and your inner healing. No dry theory, no distant predictions, just an honest, grounded conversation between you and me. A space to reflect, to reconnect with yourself, and maybe to notice how the pieces are finally starting to fall into place. Thank you for being here. Now let's begin. Pluto, your ruling planet, is awakening once more, and when it does, it doesn't knock softly. It enters like a force of nature, intent on revealing what has been buried, forgotten, or long denied. Right now, this planet of deep transformation is activating two of the most sensitive and karmic areas of your chart. The fourth house, which governs your roots, home, and emotional foundation, and the 12th house, the realm of the subconscious, past life memory, and spiritual ending. These are not light energies. These are the places where the soul stores its oldest echoes. The grief you inherited, the fears you absorbed, the pain that shaped you before you even had words for it. You might not be able to explain exactly what's been rising to the surface lately. Maybe it feels like a quiet heaviness, a memory that visits you uninvited, a vague sense that something in your inner world is shifting, even if nothing on the outside has changed. That's Pluto at work. It's not interested in quick fixes or surface level healing. It wants depth. It wants truth. And sometimes that truth begins with acknowledging what you've carried silently for too long. What's happening now is a karmic unwinding. Some of you are being called to confront wounds from your early home life, patterns passed down through generations that shaped your beliefs about safety, love, and worthiness. Others may find themselves revisiting the emotional impact of a relationship that once defined them, or grappling with fears that seem to have no clear origin. But the deeper truth is this: what you thought was an ending is actually a preparation for something more sacred. Pluto is not taking anything away from you that your soul still needs. It's clearing space for healing, for peace, and for a more authentic version of you to emerge. This kind of transformation doesn't come with fireworks or applause. It often looks like solitude, stillness, quiet release. And yet it is profound. You are being asked to release a chapter that's already complete, even if part of you still clings to the familiarity of its weight. This is not weakness. This is the wisdom of the soul finally honoring its own timeline. You are no longer required to carry what broke you. You are allowed to be free. So how do you move through this? You forgive. Fully and without condition. You forgive the people who weren't able to meet you where you needed them. You forgive yourself for the ways you coped, for the armor you wore, for the silence you kept. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means making peace with the fact that healing doesn't always come with closure, and that's okay. This is your turning point. This is the part of the journey where you don't have to push anymore. You simply allow. Let the grief move through you. Let the insights rise up. Let the part of you that's ready to be reborn step forward, quietly, confidently, powerfully. Because beneath the shedding, there is something luminous waiting. Your truest self, finally ready to return home. The eclipses and the fated nodes are currently orchestrating a quiet but powerful rewrite of your soul's contract. These aren't just passing events in the sky. They are cosmic checkpoints, marking moments when your inner world and outer reality realign in ways that may be subtle at first, but transformative in hindsight. Right now, these energies are illuminating the 6th and 10th houses in your chart. The axis of service, health, discipline, purpose, and public recognition. This is where the practical meets the spiritual, where your daily habits either support or sabotage your greater mission, and where you're being asked, quite honestly, are you living in integrity with what you came here to do? You may find yourself questioning the work you do or the routines that structure your day. A job that once felt like a good fit may now feel empty. A goal you chased for years might no longer resonate with the person you're becoming. Even the way you take care of your body and energy is under review. If you've been operating on autopilot, these eclipses are here to shake you gently, then firmly, into awareness, not as punishment, but as a redirection. Because when you're not on the path of your purpose, your soul will keep sending you signals until you listen. This isn't about dramatic career changes or throwing your whole life away. Often it starts with something quieter, the courage to say no to what drains you, the decision to stop ignoring the exhaustion, the willingness to admit that you're meant for something more meaningful. As these realizations build, they start to clear space for clarity to enter. And in that clarity, something beautiful emerges, a vision of your life that isn't built on fear or obligation, but on alignment. What's shifting now is not just your outer world, it's your inner permission to live differently. The doubts that once held you back, am I good enough? Will I be supported? What if I fail? Are beginning to lose their grip. Not because they're gone, but because you're finally ready to move forward anyway. Courage doesn't mean fear is absent. It means fear no longer gets to lead. So what do you do with all of this? You let go. You surrender the version of yourself that tried so hard to prove something. You release the pressure to be perfect, polished, or perpetually productive. Your soul is not interested in performance. It's asking for presence. All that's required of you now is a willingness to trust the unfolding, to show up as you are, to say yes to the next right step, even if it feels uncertain. This is your invitation to embody your purpose, not someday, but now. To trust that even the small shifts you make today are part of a much bigger alignment. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be brave enough to keep walking. Right now, the eclipses and the shifting lunar nodes are acting like a cosmic editor, rewriting the blueprint of your soul's path, realigning your energy with something more purposeful, more honest, and more alive. These energies are touching two powerful houses in your chart, the 6th house of health, routine, and service, and the 10th house of career, recognition, and public purpose. What this means is that your daily life, the work you do, the habits you keep, the roles you've taken on are under review, not because you failed, but because your soul is ready for something deeper, something that truly reflects who you are becoming. You may start to feel disconnected from a job or routine that once gave you structure, or maybe you've been pushing yourself to maintain a lifestyle that's quietly burning you out. Some of you may feel called to leave behind a career that no longer resonates with your values. For others, it could be the realization that how you show up in the world, the version of yourself you present publicly, is no longer in alignment with your inner truth. Whatever the surface details may be, at the root of this transit is a sacred question. What are you really here to do? And are you willing to live like you mean it? This isn't just a change in external circumstances. It's an internal release of old programming, the fear that says you need to achieve something to be worthy, the conditioning that tells you to stay small, to stay safe, to stay in line. These narratives are loosening their grip, not because they've magically disappeared, but because something inside you is awakening. A voice that's been quiet for years is beginning to speak up, reminding you that you are allowed to live a life that feels aligned, joyful, and nourishing. As that voice grows stronger, so does your clarity. The confusion, the hesitation, the inner tug-of-war, it begins to dissolve. In its place comes a steadier knowing. You may not have all the answers yet, but you know what no longer fits. And that's enough to start. That's enough to move. The next chapter of your purpose isn't waiting for you to be perfect. It's waiting for you to be honest. So what's being asked of you now? Let go. Let go of the roles you've outgrown, the routines that numb instead of nourish, the expectations that were never really yours. You don't need to have a flawless plan. You just need the courage to take the next right step, however small it may seem. The journey ahead isn't about performance. It's about presence, about showing up fully, even when it's messy, even when it's uncertain. This is your invitation to live your purpose, not as a goal to chase, but as a frequency to embody. The universe is aligning you with the kind of work, structure, and visibility that reflects your truth. You don't need to force anything. Just stay open, stay grounded, and keep listening. Everything you're meant for is already making its way toward you. Scorpio, whether you realize it or not, you've been in training. Every challenge, every delay, every loss you've endured has not been a punishment, it's been a refinement. The universe never sought to break you, it sought to shape you. And now, as you stand at the threshold of a new energetic cycle on April 12th, something sacred is unfolding. You're not starting from scratch. You're beginning from wisdom, from strength, from truth, the kind that only comes from surviving the fire and choosing to rise anyway. The pain you've carried, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the moments when it felt like no one saw how hard you were trying, they weren't in vain. In fact, those moments carved you into someone deeper, more resilient, more attuned to what truly matters. As the old world within you crumbles, light begins to seep through the cracks. This isn't just poetic, it's cosmic. Every fracture in your heart has become a doorway for your future to enter. And what's coming now is not just healing, it's recognition, it's alignment, it's a life that mirrors who you've become on the inside. The universe is opening a door that only you can walk through. But here's the thing, you won't need to force it open, you won't need to chase or fight. What's meant for you is already finding its way toward you. Your only job now is to say yes. To choose presence over perfection, to trust that the divine timing you once doubted was never working against you, it was working within you, preparing you for this exact moment. So, are you ready to claim it, to receive without guilt, to embody the version of you that no longer apologizes for being deep, intuitive, intense, and real? This next chapter doesn't ask you to become someone else. It invites you to finally be who you are, with full permission, with open hands, with a heart that knows its worth. Step forward, Scorpio, with quiet faith, with grounded stillness, and with the fierce, unwavering courage of someone who has already been reborn. The universe is not testing you anymore. It's welcoming you home. As we close this space together, I want to take a moment, just a quiet, sincere moment, to thank you for being here, for real. Whether you're watching this late at night, on a quiet morning, or in the middle of one of those days that feel like everything is shifting all at once, I want you to know your presence here means something. It means you're listening to something deeper inside yourself. It means you're honoring the part of you that wants to evolve, not just survive, but truly become. I know Scorpio energy is not light, it's not surface level. It asks you to dive deep into your fears, your past, your desires, your purpose. It doesn't let you escape your truth. And sometimes that can feel heavy, isolating even, but there's a quiet strength in you that I hope you haven't forgotten. That quiet strength is what brought you here. Not because you're broken or lost, but because you're awake, because your soul remembers there's more. And maybe you're in the in-between right now, not quite where you were, but not fully in the new chapter either. That space can feel uncertain, even lonely, but I promise you it's sacred. You're not stuck. You're being reformed, realigned. Your old armor is falling away so your true essence can emerge. And yes, that process is tender, but it's also miraculous. I made this video not just to speak about astrology, but to speak to you, to remind you that the cycles you're moving through are meaningful, that you're not late, not behind, not off track. You are moving in rhythm with something much older, much wiser, much more intentional than any plan the mind could create. You're being shaped, soul first. And if no one's told you this lately, I'm proud of you, truly, for staying on your path, for continuing to believe in yourself even when everything felt uncertain, for not settling, for being brave enough to ask bigger questions. The world may not always reflect that back to you right away, but the stars do, the soul does, and I hope you do too. If today's message stirred something in you, clarity, emotion, resistance, hope, I invite you to sit with it. Don't rush to label it, just breathe into it. Let it speak, let it stay. And if you feel called, I'd love to hear how this landed for you. Your voice, your story, it matters here. Until we meet again, take care of your inner world the way you would care for something sacred, because it is, you are. And whatever is next, it's not just coming for you, it's coming from you. Be ready. I believe that with my whole heart. Thank you for being here, truly. I'll see you soon.